It's Wednesday evening and the week has just totally flown by. I have not spun anything this week. And if I remember correctly, my goal for the week is 7 hours. Now, I think I might be able to spin for 1.5 hours today. It's evening, but it's not that late. It's just dark outside because, winter time. But I think I should be able to manage. I am feeling a little bit beat, but not like so tired that I couldn't enjoy some spinning while watching TV or something. And this is also a nice time for me to relax. My social battery is empty. I would consider myself to be an introvert, but lately I've had way too many social interactions and it's time for some alone time. Anyway, we're not here to complain, we are here to spin. And I'm excited about the Icelandic wool that I have. Actually, I don't think I've been this in. I was happy with the previous wool that I did, but this, like, I can already see the final project in mind, and that's exciting. That is exciting. And I'm happy to report that my wrist is doing a lot better. I was quite careful with it today at work. So let's try to set this up. Ooh, I just love that sound. Yeah. You know what? When I did that, I felt like I just got a second wind. Like I felt all of a sudden re-energized. And to think that I was just gonna skip today again. I was thinking of like going to bed already and it's 7:30. I think that's a little bit too early, no? I think it is. Just look at this madness. And by the way, I have also, if I could find the beginning here, I have also purchased a microphone because I know that the audio here is pretty bad. So, and it makes the editing a lot easier if I get the audio right away. So I think it will be arriving in a few days maybe. And here I am again with black and this wool. Staple length is humongous. Let us see. Oh, I don't know. I mean, this wool seems a lot more soft and fluffy before spinning, but now that I'm spinning it, feels kind of rough. Or not rough, but ropies? Is that even a thing? Interesting. Interesting. Maybe because the staple length is so long. Hmm. Well, I was not expecting it to look like that. But what do I know? Let's finish this up. And that's 1.5 hours of spinning. It's very hairy. It's Thursday evening now, and I'm ready for some spinning. I'm just gonna spin as much as I can now because I'm behind schedule. I have been spinning for 1 hour, but that's all I managed for today. I would say the bobbin was half full yesterday, and today it's getting there. I really want to stuff it before I change the bobbin. A little bit left. But you see, it's quite hairy. Yeah. I don't know if I mentioned this yesterday, so I'll mention it now again. I'm in a different setting, and that's because I have a guest staying at my house this week, which makes it a bit challenging. I obviously can't be spending my whole evening spinning. But now it's time to socialize, and maybe I'll take my knitting project. Luckily for me, my wrist is doing a lot better. I'm actually kind of happy I was really strict with it the past 2 weeks. All right, see you tomorrow. New day, new possibilities. It's Saturday already, and I have no idea where the day went. Or not the day, the whole entire week. But it's daylight now, and I have time for some spinning. Let's do this. And that was an hour and 10 minutes of spinning. I got quite a lot. Now towards the end I started to get some overspin and thicker parts, but it's fine. I think, well, it's still early in the day, maybe I will end up spinning a little bit more, but I will definitely be plying tomorrow. It's Wednesday. So this means that I did not finish plying or spinning last week. I made here some notes and I spun on Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, a total of 3 hours and 40 minutes, although the goal was actually 7 hours. So that was a fail. To defend myself here, I did have a guest, and well, that's where the time went. So that was that. And so I thought, just to do it simpler for myself, and also because I'm enjoying this, the plan is that when Frodo reaches Lorien, that there is a week's rest. So technically, I'm in the rest week again. But I thought that I could ply a little this week and try to catch up to the total goal. Because who knows? Who knows? We may still catch up. We may still make it to Mordor. I'm positive. So let's drink some tea because yes, it's evening and it's dark, and that's what we do in the fall now. I'm just waiting for the first snow actually, but it's been unusually warm where I live. Like normally you start to see frost and the signs of the first snow in October. It hasn't come yet, so I'm happy about that. Okay, but let's do some spinning. And actually, this bobbin is done. There was just a little bit of wool left here, tiny bit. I'll spin this up and then we can move on to plying. I have to say that although this Icelandic wool did not give me the results that I was expecting, I've learned quite a lot from this. Now I have spun Norwegian wool and now this Icelandic wool, and I have done a bit of the South Down. And for sure, I have to say that I prefer a shorter staple length wool. And just for curiosity's sake, I went to the yarn shop, my local yarn shop, and then saw what type of yarn, Icelandic yarn, they were selling. And it's a lot like the one I'm spinning. It's shiny, but the only difference is that it's a lot thicker. And I think the thickness holds its softness and its fluffiness, because now I think in the thickness that I was trying to make it, like it makes it kind of ropey or like perhaps rougher than it should be. So this was for sure a learning experience for me. I'm really happy I did this, because prior to this I had no preference. Like I just wanted to spin whatever. But now I can start to tell like what I like and don't like. That's something. And I can also tell that if I'm tired during that day of spinning or towards the end. The results aren't that good, even though I'm having fun. So yeah, it is what it is. But I'm not mad at it. I am not looking for perfection, actually. Like, yeah, okay, it has to be nice and I should be able to wear it, but I don't mind if it's a little bit uneven, for example. This one skein plied. You know what? This does not look that ropey once it's plied like this. It has a very... Okay, it's a little bit hairy still, but I would say it's a lot shinier. It has like this glance to it. Like, this is South Down, this is the Icelandic. It's bad lighting here now, it's dark. But this is a lot fluffier, I think. I have been at it for an hour and 20 minutes. And I have this to show for it. And that was all I can ply now because the bobbins are basically empty. And that, wanted to round it off, that makes for 5 hours. So basically I have decided to scrap the rest week so that I can try to catch up. And that's okay. I'm up for it. I've actually been spinning for 2 hours and 20 minutes. A lot more than I anticipated today. I have finished spinning up the Icelandic wool, and that was 2 bobbins, and have plied 1 full bobbin. Let's have a look. That's 1 full bobbin done, and then I have just a tiny bit left there. I've really surprised myself today. That was the 3-hour mark for today, which means that I managed to complete the 7 hours from last week. And it's Thursday today, so I still have Friday and the weekend to knit or just chillax or do whatever. But basically I have spun the rest of the Icelandic wool, and I've also plied it. So this is the Icelandic wool and South Down, and that's a lot of yarn. Now, last year I did do some spinning as well, so I have this much at my disposal for a sweater. I don't think it's gonna be enough. Wait, there's something here still. This is not South Down, it's something else. I don't remember what this was. And this I did with my antique wheel, and I think this is the nicest one I've done so far. Look how beautiful this is compared to like now what I did. Like, this is not as even as that. But in my defense, I have a lot more practice on my antique wheel than I have on this one. So that's that. So yeah, I have quite a lot of hand spun yarn now. So I have to figure out how much I've spun so far and what is the total I should have been at. And maybe if I do a little bit extra, I may catch on to the total. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Like 3 hours for today was enough. So I think I will call it a day. Okay, I was cleaning up for the day and I realized that I spun more than 7 hours in total for last week and this week. It's actually 8 hours. So I'm catching up.
A Balrog! A Balrog is come! The dark figure, streaming with fire, raced towards them. The orcs yelled and poured over the stone gangways. Then Boromir raised his horn and blew. Loud the challenge rang and bellowed like the shout of many throats under the cavernous roof. For a moment the orcs quailed and the fiery shadow halted. Then the echoes died as suddenly as a flame blown out of the dark wind, and the enemy advanced again. "Over the bridge!" cried Gandalf, recalling his strength. "Fly!" At that moment Gandalf lifted his staff, and crying aloud he smote the bridge before him. The staff broke asunder and fell from his hand. A blinding sheet of white flame sprang up. The bridge cracked. Right at the Balrog's feet it broke, and the stone upon which it stood crashed into the gulf, while the rest remained, poised, quivering like a tongue of rock thrust into the emptiness. With a terrible cry the Balrog fell forward, and its shadow plunged down and vanished. But even as it fell it swung its whip, and the thongs lashed and curled around the wizard's knees, dragging him to the brink. He staggered and fell, grasped vainly at the stone, and slid into the abyss. "Fly, you fools!" he cried, and was gone.